Hi, this is Somit. This is my first video on getting started with electronics, which blogs to follow, which books to read. So, electronics is a very broad field and it becomes quite difficult to get started with the same. Uh, I remember my time, it was very difficult. Uh, Random searches on the internet with no success. Uh, Look here and there and stick to something and then start with that. So I'm gonna streamline that on how you can get easily started with electronics and explore your interest and streamline it to a particular field wherein you're interested. So let's get to it. But before that, the best way to learn electronics is to do it. Again, if I teach you theoretically, how does a capacitor work or how does a resistor work, it doesn't feel good, right? The best way is to use it. It gives you an intuitive feeling that you can blink an LED. Then it will help you understand what is a diode, how does an LED work. So this is always a good way to learn something, which is to do it, uh, and again making notes on the same. So let's get started. If you're completely new to electronics, I suggest you buy this board, Arduino Uno. So the original board is available for like 1500 on Amazon, but there's no need to buy the original board. You can get the duplicate one for 450. It doesn't make any difference, it's the same. Uh, so buy this Arduino Uno and get started. I'll tell you how to get started with it. But if you're completely new to electronics and you have no idea, then buy this board. This is just 450. There are other variations like Arduino Mega and Arduino Nano Micro. Uh, but you should get started with Arduino Uno, and Arduino Uno should be your first hardware to get your hands on. So it's an open source hardware. All the design files are available online, and there are lakhs of tutorials on the same. So community is something which is very valuable, and if you can easily find tutorials or blogs or videos on the same, then it boosts your learning. So I suggest get started with Arduino Uno and then gradually learn things like what is a capacitor, what is a resistor, uh, how does a function generator maybe works, and it uses an Atmega 328, how does that work. Yeah, so things like that will help you. Apart from that, we have another board which is the Raspberry Pi. I have Pi 2 with me. I don't have Pi 3 for the time being. So this is a complete Linux system. You can make games, you can play games, you can connect it to a TV, you can process things, you can do a million and tons of things with this board. So Arduino actually is limited to certain things. You could hook up a few sensors. You could blink up LEDs, make projects, make good projects. In fact, uh, but if you want to go a step ahead, then I suggest you buy a Raspberry Pi. So as I already told you, it's a complete full-fledged Linux system. So you could still learn the you could still attach the sensors and all the other things you could do on an Arduino. The reason it became a hit was it was very cheap. It was 2800, and it's a full-fledged system. You could just do tons of things with that. So I am attaching all the blog links and the book links to follow for the same. So if you want to go a step ahead, then Raspberry Pi is your choice. Moreover, I'll explain it in a simpler way. if you want to do more of mechanical things, control sensors, devices, you could do it with a Arduino or any such variant of the same. But if you're interested in, let's say, image processing, if you want to integrate OpenCV with Raspberry Pi camera, then this is your choice. The next board we have with us is a Beagle board. I love Beagle boards. So, as Derek Molloy, I have attached his blog. So he's a great guy. So Derek Molloy said, if even if you're a programming guru, you might have never wired an LED, or even if you are very good with electronics and circuits, you might have not written a single piece of code. So Beagle board allows you to interface low level electronics with high level software. So this is a great piece of hardware to learn the interfacing. uh, after working on this board, I started reading this book called the Linux Device Drivers. So it broadens your horizon, uh, and I suggest, if you want to learn the mapping of hardware and software, and the low level electronics, and get a feel of it, then you should go ahead with Beagleboard. Beagleboards are a bit expensive. They might cost you roughly 4,300, I guess. 4,300 to 5,000, but it's great. It has 64 GPIO pins. It's a complete ARM Cortex A8 processor. So it's a good platform to learn. But if you're a complete newbie, I still won't suggest you to go with Beagle boards. Arduino Uno should still be your first purchase. Then we have other boards like STM32 and Node MCU, which is an IoT module. I recently wrote a blog on the same. So IoT is nothing but connecting your piece of electronics to the internet. That's it. That's IoT. You could go with other boards like 8051 dev boards, and this is it for boards. Now, way to buy the components. So if you want to buy these kinds of controllers or processors, you could get it from AliExpress or Amazon. In fact, eBay is cheap too. Uh, you could get it from your local store, but it might be a bit expensive, and it's cheap on Amazon and AliExpress. But if you want to buy ICs, resistors, capacitors, then I don't suggest you buy the same on Amazon or eBay, because you get it in bulk. So even if you want, let's say, XIC, so you need to buy it in a set of 5 or 10, which you can get from your local store or Delhi. Delhi is a good place to get components. The next thing is money. How do you set up your own electronics lab? How to get money for the same? So, well, it's a very difficult question, uh, but you could get it from participating in hackathons or competitions. You could do a virtual internship. Uh, this is the only way I have found to invest in electronics. And once you start investing in electronics, you're still investing in your skill set and learning. So once you earn back from electronics, you should again invest in electronics. What I mean to say is, if you make a small project and you get a earning, you can sell it or put it in a hackathon, then you should invest the same money again in the core components. The next thing is which blogs to follow. So there are great blogs like Adafruit, SparkFun. Then you have EEV blog, which is amazing. Their podcasts are amazing. So I'm attaching all the links of the blogs in my blog. Uh, the next thing, which books to follow. Uh, as a beginner, if you want to read electronics and get started, then I suggest a book called Arduino Development Cookbook. Now, when you buy this Arduino Uno and you have this Arduino Development Cookbook, I have attached the link for to download it. Then start reading the book as soon as you see the sensors or the devices. Buy it from Amazon. You can buy the sensors from Amazon or AliExpress. AliExpress usually takes a bit of time. um, so once you have the sensors, start interfacing them, make notes, and just follow the Arduino development cookbook, which will give you a good idea of how Arduino works, how sensors work, how basic electronics works, and also follow the blogs and tutorials parallelly. Uh, Another good book is The Art of Electronics. The Art of Electronics is the Bible of electronics, and it very well covers the basic concepts in a very simple way. So you can get started with The Art of Electronics. The next book for Beagle Board is Exploring Beagle Board by Derek Molloy. Again, it's a very good book if you want to get started with Beagleboard. I got started with this book. Um and if you want to streamline to a particular sector in electronics, let's say IoT or X or Y, then you should focus on books related to that subject, which will come after you have explored basic things like these blogs, The Art of Electronics, etc. So get started with the same. I'm attaching all the blog links, the book download links, um and yeah, the basic things to get started. Uh, so just read it, and if you further wish to streamline to a particular sector, let's say IoT, Internet of Things, then you should focus on books related to that thing. But initially you should just broaden your horizon. So yeah, that's it for the video tutorial. I hope it helped you. If you have any doubts or queries regarding anything, please mail me, text me, whatever. I'll always reply to the mail. And yeah, thanks for watching.